hand out and ask for something free. I got pride I could roll up for miles in front of me. I don't need your help and I don't need sympathy. I don't need you to lower the bar for me. I know I'm superwoman, I know I'm strong.
Hi, I'm Renee. I'm a child of two teenage parents. Actually, in all honesty, I don't have a father on my birth certificate because my father had hit my mother and wasn't allowed at the hospital. That's how my life started. My mom was the last of 11 children from a big Irish Catholic family. Also had a lot of addiction. My grandmother was 40 when she had her. So my mom grew up not really having parents and found her father passed away when she was 11 from a massive heart attack. Took care of my grandmother, who was a horrible diabetic and an alcoholic. I lived with them till I was 6. My grandmother passed away. That was our only stability. My mom inherited the family home, $250,000, and spent it all on drugs. I went to live with different family members, in and out of foster care, and I know that my mom did the best she could because she never really had a chance either. And I love her, but I took care of her most of my life. Even if it was getting a beer out of the fridge, that's what I did because that was my mama and she was all I had. She got remarried. Horribly abusive man. When I was 6, he had her stripped down naked and tried to put her through a chipper because he worked for a landscaping company. Even as a child, I knew that she deserved much better, but how do you verbalize that? I couldn't. She finally got away from him and was still in heavy use of drugs and alcohol. She ended up meeting my stepdad, and he is who I grew up calling Dad. I have 2 stepsisters, 2 half-brothers, and he wasn't perfect. He had his flaws and stuff like that, but he was the most stability I ever had. Built me a bicycle. He was genuinely as loving as he could be. Just so happened that he was from another big Irish Catholic family in the area. So they kind of already knew each other, you know, growing up in and out of school. They were married for 18 years. My mom was sober, clean and sober, was a good mom for 18 years. Taught me to cook big meals, taught me to just be the best person I could be, and, you know, when I was younger in life, taught me the person I didn't want to be and the mom that I didn't want to be. Come to find out, my little sister and I ended up being sexually abused by my stepdad's dad. Through therapy, I remembered as a child, I had weird flashbacks come back that my mom's first husband had started sexually abusing me when I was like 4. And I didn't know that until I was in therapy and I was talking, and I would have, it was almost like flickers of like a movie film. And that's the only way I could explain it to the therapist. And the therapist said, that's because you suffer from PTSD and those are flashbacks coming back from trauma. And then I realized, wow, this wasn't something that, you know, this is something that's been going on throughout my life. I married, my first husband was pretty abusive. To this day, I'm not a person that holds grudges. He's really changed his life around. He called my children every single day. We were just young and in high school, and we were better not together than we were together. And because he really needed to work on himself and I really needed to work on myself. You tend to have bonds with people that go through the same trauma as you. My very first son's father, I didn't even tell my son who his father was until he was 22 years old, because his father is also a drug addict. You tend to go to what your normal is, I feel like. And I didn't know that being younger, that that was what I was comfortable with. That's what I was raised doing. So those are the people that I levitated to, and I wanted to fix people. I felt like I should be able to help them and fix them. And through doing that, I realized that all I was doing was taking all the crap that I had and shoving it under a big area rug until it was literally just a giant monster in the room that I had to deal with. I was busy focusing on everybody else, trying to fix people, trying to rehabilitate people, and not focusing on myself. Throughout life, I was, oh, you're so pretty, you're so this. I lived up to whatever expectation I thought that I was supposed to do. I was a cheerleader. I was an honor roll student. Foreign language, that to me, though, like in my family, the way that we were raised, people are tradesmen. So school was never a priority in my family. Education, it was what it was. Half of my family dropped out. My mom finally got her GED when I think she was 30 when she got her GED. But, school was just never something, and education was never something that was like forced. So, I was trying to people please. I wanted some attention. I wanted some positive feedback. Because if not, it would only be, me getting attention for getting in trouble for doing something. And I even picked up playing viola, played guitar, did stuff, And hindsight being 2020, my mother was very proud of me, but she never had the parents to be proud of her, so she never said anything to me about it. She just assumed that it was something that I knew, that I was doing good, and that I was loved and how proud she was of me. But she had never verbalized it. So throughout life, I grew up always looking at what was wrong with me instead of what was right with me. And a lot of it had to do with looks, the way I looked. And my oldest son, it took him going to college, becoming a social worker, and having a minor in psych to say, hey, Mom, do you realize you have BDD? And at first I said, I don't know what BDD is. Like, what is BDD? Is it an acronym? Like, what is it? He's like, well, it's body dysmorphic disorder. And I said, okay, well, and he says, well, here, let me send you the symptoms of it. And so he sent it to me, and I read through it, and I was like, yeah, I can see that. Because the trauma that I suffered as a child, like mentally, physically, sexually, I already had an OCD disorder anyway that I knew that I was diagnosed with. Like at home, I'm very particular. Everything has to have a place. I have to feel in control. That's what makes me feel in control. And I think that's what I did with my body as well. Plus, I wanted the acceptance. And, literally the only thing I'd get told is how pretty I was. So I felt like I had to keep up that, at least I get that. Not that I was intelligent, not that I was, which I know all these things now that I am. I am intelligent. I am outgoing. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I don't have to be. I mean, everybody'd like to be. I know I'd like to be, but I'm not. And I feel like the first time in my life that, even though I've just had a surgery on my face, I look in the mirror now and I'm okay with myself. I don't focus on like, oh my gosh, there's that neck or there's that. And I have stretch marks, and I've had 5 kids, huge blessings. And I've lived a life. I've had 2 brain surgeries. I've had, the cosmetic stuff that I chose to do. I have several debilitating medical disorders, and I just keep going. Because if you don't keep going, then to me, that just means it's the end. So I find something to do with my time. I find people to talk to. I am in a pageant, met lots of other beautiful women, and had this opportunity and wanted to share my story. I am beautiful. This is me.
I know I've got this 'cause I've had it all along. I'm phenomenal and I'm enough. I don't need you to tell me who to be. 'Cause